どうぞお覚悟を。
月は輝き、私は狂う。
降臨準備。
祖国のために。
おかえりなさいませ。
生きてみせる。
ご主人様。
偽りを切り裂く。
鈍いな。
これで決めます。この命が尽きるまで戦い生きてみせる。
甘く見ないでくださいね。
許しは俺の仕
っていたさ。
信じる限り、この身は神よ。
月の光よ。
疑う中に汝の神を。
そんな。
速さが足んねえか。
俺の伝説はここから始まる。
覚悟はいいですか。
試練も苦難かったな。
神は揺らがぬ。
奇跡の導きにより成敗しますわ。黄昏は闇を
太陽の
照らす勇気
輝
の光。
きを信じるのです。
私たちが明日を開くの。お願い任せて、リーシャ。何をなさいますの。
終わらせます。
全部壊す。何するの。
望むがゆえにここにいる。私はここだ。
お頭の身は私が守りやす。
光が溢れます。
本能だ。
は再びここに。
お頭、
狂ってしまうわ。終わることなき闇でさえ。そんな。
行くぞデュランダル。
審判の時。
どちらがあなたに似合うでしょうか。純白ってキュート。
あんたここまでだぜ。
救いは近い。
偽りを切り裂く。
ご覧遊ばせ。そんな。正義を貫く角と槍。
準備はいいか
ランスロット。
行くぞ。
森の姫として闇も。争いを止める。
腕が鈍ったか。行進せよ天の果てまで。
不覚を取ったか。
降伏します。私だって戦えるんだから。下がりなさい悪党。私の負け。 どうぞお覚悟を。安心してください。一瞬で終わります。
我が旗に集え。兵よ、我が旗に集え。
行きますわよ。
はあ、
そんな。
俺の旗が破れて。
偽りを切り裂く。
我は軍師
優雅に参り
火炎の
ますわよ。
化身。おっと、近づきすぎたかな。
これで決めます。悔しくなんかありませんわ。ナイト、あなたと共に希望の剣を掲げよう。覚悟はいいですか。ルミナス騎士団進行開始。そんな黄昏は闇を照らす優勢光。私たちが明日を開くの。お願い、任せてリーシャ。あとは任せました。これで決めます。全部壊せる。何するの。
会いたかったぜ、可愛い子ちゃん。
終わらせます。
おいたが過ぎるな。
諦めないで。
100の戦場ではっ
泣けるぜ。
この盤面純白に染めます。
隊長、任せてください。
太陽が落ちた。
突っ込め突っ込め。そんな。
パーシバル、久々に暴れるとするか。
次は負けん。覚悟はいいですか。
このまま押し切る。砕け散れ。
作戦失敗。
腕が鈍ったが、あと任せたぞ。
この盤面漆黒に落ちる。お頭の身は私が守るや
ゼロって押してまいるであります。
視界の刃をここに重ねよ
これで決めます。
う。勝利は遠い。それでも
隊長、
掴む。
任せてください。
お頭、すいません。
鍛錬が足りませんか。
我が王座の剣お受けください。
俺を超えてゆけ。
おかえりなさいませ。
幕が降りたか。
ヒャッハー。そんな。
積もり重なり刃が満ちる。同胞たちの痛みに比べれば。行くぞデュランダル。
太陽の輝きを信じるのです。
我が王託すとしよう。
降伏します。
どうぞお覚悟を。安心してください。一瞬で終わります。無残ですね、お客様。
Been very the War Sports Industries LV for the XRK M4 to build this. So you need that XRK blueprint, and you can see here there's the LVOA. So the low stands for low visibility operation application, and the C is obviously carbine. So the XRK. Now you see 5 tack lights. So that's the M4 barrel. You see right there. Now we have a different barrel design for the M4, only with the XRK blueprint. So if I were to select a different blueprint, for example, we'll go with something I didn't use was the MK18. So if I go ahead and now you see that standard M4 barrel that we saw prior to Season 1. So now this update seems to only affect the XRK M4. So one thing to note here, if I go to the armory, we'll see with this is the Pursuit. So this has that standard 14.5 inch M4 barrel that we're used to that was in the game. But now you can see the barrel length there, and then if I go to my LVOA, the barrel length is slightly larger, and you see the main differences there. So let's go ahead and select this. This is our LVOA rifle, the low visibility operation application. So what this is, the barrel does extend. It looks like it says 14.5 tack light, but in real life, the barrel for the LVOA is 14.7 inches. You can see it is a bit extended. So let me strip this down. First off, we're going to start with the XRK blueprint here. So first thing we need is the tack light. So this is a 14.5 inch tack light barrel. Now this is going to give us a 14.7 inch barrel specific to the LVOA carbine. So you can see here the main thing is that the handguard extends all the way up to the muzzle with this. Now next up we're going to go for the sights. Again, this is kind of personal preference. I'm going to go the 4-time flip sights. I like this. I think it looks the best. The stock, we're going to go with the Forge Tac CQS. Since this weapon is mainly built for close quarters combat, we're going to go ahead and select that. You could also do something like the M16, which comes with the XRK, which gives it that different magpul looking butt stock. Or you could go with the standard M4 stock as well. That also would fit this weapon. But for the purposes of this and the aesthetics, we're going to go with the Forge Tac CQS. Get us on target faster. We're going to go ahead and skip the perk for the rear grip. We're going to go ahead and do a simple pistol grip. This is going to help us with our aim down sight speed as well as our sprint to fire speed. Ammunition, we're going to leave the same because we have the XRK blueprint. It's going to give us that Magpul magazine there, 30 round 5.56 by 4.5 NATO. And then for the underbarrel, I've experimented with the Ranger foregrip, which I like a lot, but for the purposes of this particular weapon, it does come in real life by War Sports Industries. It does come with a Magpul XTM foregrip. So to replicate that, we're going to go with the tactical foregrip. So this one is going to help us with our aiming stability. The only negative, notice that those are our 5 attachments. Now for the paint, what I did to best replicate Hey guys, Buffman Gaming here, bringing back another video, and today I want to go through the final list of weapons and the release of Call of Duty Modern Warfare now that we have our hands on the game finally. So what I did here is go into a local game center where you can actually play This is a pretty simple recoil, and then we're going to give away 2 $30 gift cards. And we're going to con barrels. This is going to help us with our pros being in between. Optic. Whoops. Did I do the right barrel? Yep. Series, we are for micro 211. First off, we're gonna go with the barrel, and for this one, for the MTAR and the couple we did with the muzzle, the optic, I'm just gonna go with a standard, or I got that big of a, the control is, and you don't want that big of a negative, so we'll go ahead and take it. Now for the perk, we'll skip that. The rear grip, we're gonna want that stay close. Now for the perk, we'll skip that. The rear grip, we're going to want that stippled pistol grip. So the pros here are obviously the ADS speed as well as the sprint to fire speed, which we're going to want with this SBR for the... Then for the ammo, again, our only choice here is 45 rounds. I'm going to go with this one. I guess there's some position of that cock and handle is the main. I'm not going to... Let's go ahead and try and control this rifle, and then we'll see how it handles in-game against bots. Okay, now that we're in-game with our MTAR, let's go ahead and check out the recoil pattern. So... let's go ahead first, and I'm just going to let this rip, and I'm not going to control it, and we'll see how it handles. So, very similar, but a little less prominent than the recoil pattern we saw with the TAR-21. So it's going to go up and to the left, and then it's going to stabilize and do a straight vertical again. But if you go check out the TAR-21 video, it's much more drastic, almost a 90-degree left turn there. So let's go ahead and try and control it now from about the same range. So again, that was not good, but it's kind of hard when you're not aiming at an actual person, but let's try it again. So there you see I'm able to control it much better. Very tight clusters right there. Really, you can put some different on. Whoop, versus very, it does so. Replicate that foliage green that the LVOA comes in is usually, so you can see it's going to climb a little bit. We don't have the best attachments on to reduce the recoil. We would probably want a Ranger foregrip for that, or an Operator foregrip even, but it's pretty on target. And again, out season 1, whatever you like. Gift card will be doing $30, so giving away 2 of those. So all you need to do to enter that is to leave a comment on this video, the G36 video from 2 days ago, as well as yesterday's CTAR video. So I'll leave all that information below in the description if you want to enter the giveaway. Be sure to do that. And again, I think we'll do these 3 videos, and that'll close probably later this week. So I'll give everybody a few days to leave the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel as well, and I'll be picking a winner probably the end of this week or weekend. I'll announce the winners. So stay tuned for that. Now, back to the weapon. So this is the, as I said, the LVOAC, standing for Low Visibility Operation Application. So this was designed mainly for the modern warfighter to... Oh, where we go? I think there's someone right here. Nope. Where is he? There he is. Okay. So this was developed by, oh my god, by War Sport Industries. I believe it was 2013. It was shown off at a shoot show. Short barrel here. It looks to be a Ranger, so barrel. Now, next up, we're gonna want to, I'm gonna scope with the from 30 TAR-21 is that the charging handle. So maybe we'll take a look at the pattern. Let it rip for like a circle pattern, but regardless, these are all center mass shot. Whereas down and to the right slightly is really how you want to control that. So right there, you're able to see I'm able to keep it very. TAR-21. I can see about this rifles. This is another one to that family. This one firing 5.56 by 45 rounds. And you can see here with the build that we have set up here, the recoil handles pretty well. We're able to control it, and I had to play around it a little bit because I was having some issues controlling the recoil at first. But you can see with this, definitely handles a lot better. And that 45 round magazine coming in key right there. Since you do
他的肌肉似乎是最难让人感到敬畏的那一种，甚至没有哪个文化崇拜过肌肉神，不再需要超自然的力量背后作祟，肌肉那种力量的神秘之处才终于彻底的展现出来。肌肉为什么会运动？长期以来，我们都将肌肉运动归结为生命力的体现，即认为生命是一种超自然的存在，它能让有机体产生不服从物理规律的运动。17世纪的笛卡尔是这种观点的集大成者，他认为精神寓居在大脑某处，然后将看不见摸不着也没有任何质量的真气通过经脉运送到身体各处，将肌肉吹胀，而肌肉内有许许多多的阀门，由此像精密的气动机器一样运作起来。但就在笛卡尔死后大约10年，1660年，荷兰生物学家杨施旺买单，发现饱满的肌肉要比松弛的肌肉体积更小，真气吹胀的观点立刻不攻自破了。又过了10年，列文虎克设计了更加精密的玻璃显微镜，在骨骼肌中发现了成千上万的椭球形颗粒。于是英国化学家约翰梅欧异想天开地推测，那些颗粒都是神经凝聚的硝石炸药，能与血液中的硫混合爆炸，给肌肉带来爆发的能量。结果列文虎克不久之后就用更大倍数的显微镜看到了，那原来不是颗粒，而是极细的带有横纹的纤维。肌肉运动是这些横纹改变间距的结果，爆炸理论当然立刻破灭了。然而在揭示肌肉力量来源的科学史上，最重要的实验莫过于18世纪的80年代，意大利医生路易吉·加法尼电击了蛙腿的肌肉，竟然令已经去世的青蛙活了似的抽动起来。不久之后，加法尼的侄子乔万尼·阿蒂尼就走上了巡回表演的道路。他在西方列国的显贵面前电击刚刚处死的动物乃至犯人，向人展示转瞬即逝的复生现象。这给童年的玛丽雪莱留下了深刻的印象，并因此在1818年一个阴冷潮湿的冬季里，以他为原型创作了科学怪人。疯狂科学家弗兰肯斯坦就是用闪电复活的尸体拼成的怪物。加法尼一度和福特展开论战，焦点是生物是真的由内在的电流驱动，亦或仅仅是像金属一样具有导电的属性。最终是德国的汉姆霍兹确定了前者的正确，并发现了动物体内的电流是一种细胞膜上的离子运动。但要明白肌肉运动最详细的微观机制，还要再等100年，人类拥有了成熟的分子生物学之后才行。我们现在知道，骨骼肌由肌纤维捆成，肌纤维又由骨骼肌细胞捆成，这是一种含有多个细胞核的极端细长的细胞。神经元的轴突末梢直接附着在骨骼肌细胞上，以乙酰胆碱为地质传递神经冲动。在亚细胞层面的解剖中，我们将会看到骨骼肌内有许多肌原纤维，可以进一步分成许多肌小节，每个肌小节都是粗肌丝和细肌丝重叠排列的结果。列文虎克观察到的横纹就是它们。更具体的，粗肌丝主要由肌球蛋白构成，对齐于 M 线；细肌丝主要由肌动蛋白构成，对齐于 Z 线。两种肌丝互相滑动就是肌肉运动的原因。继续放大到分子层面，我们发现这种滑动是肌球蛋白拖动肌动蛋白的结果。肌球蛋白的头部可以锚定在肌动蛋白的许多集合位点上，消耗 ATP 反复屈伸，因此不断切换位点。但这种切换的前提是肌动蛋白能够接触足够的钙离子。肌动蛋白只有结合了足够的钙离子，才能将结合位点暴露出来，供肌球蛋白结合。这些钙离子就储存在骨骼肌细胞内巨大的滑面内质网中。神经冲动的功能就是促使滑面内质网释放钙离子，而细胞内巨量的线粒体还会源源不断地制造 ATP， 将钙离子回收到内质网中，在冲动结束后重新松弛肌肉，而这就是你体内此刻正在发生的事情。我是刘大可，欢迎转发支持我们。
With all of the stats, as well as the best attachment, 6-shot kill. This is definitely the lowest damage assault rifle in the game. All 6 shots for lowest damage assault rifles up take you 627. This means that up close in the standard 5-shot kill range, mixing just one headshot with body shots will be reducing the number of shots it takes to kill, whereas at longer shots and very fast, and this means our statistical minimum time to kill, assuming body shots, is going to be 260 milliseconds in the 5-shot kill range and 325 milliseconds in the 6-shot kill range. This time to kill isn't really that than average, so even though this thing has a super high rate of fire, statistically speaking, it just doesn't quite hold its own against some of the faster killing assault rifles in the game. Now, having said that, the higher your fire rate is, the more forgiving it is when you miss the odd shot or two. So it's not all bad, just know if you're in a really competitive environment, this gun just doesn't hold its own against some of the others in the game. Now I also wanted to show the time to practical. As you can see here, we've got a pretty standard damage drop-off range for assault rifles at just over 25 meters. So that'll be its 5-shot kill range, and then beyond that, it will be a 6-shot kill. The lightweight suppressor reduces our damage increase body in hardcore, although you can get a one-shot headshot at just over 25 meters in hardcore modes. This is standard for assault rifle, a huge impact on your first shot accuracy. Speaking of accuracy, this is one of the downsides to the M13. While it doesn't kick upwards very high, it does kick very, very strong to the right, and horizontal recoil is extent, but just know it's not very good in the recoil department. As for handling, our aim down sight time is pretty solid for an assault rifle at 250 milliseconds, assault rifle 400 seconds. Especially sides do come at the cost of your aim down sight speed. This is going to be about 20% to your damage range. Have a look here, and 60 round magazine, once again, anything else side to side stock it appears above them, back to your ability, but once again than the base M13, so I wouldn't really worry too much about the recoil reduction from that 3 slightly slower sprint out time. And this is with the Tempest mini barrel, well as using the more like an difference though. We've also got battle hardened just to help a bit with those stuns and those flashes. For our lethal, we've got a C4, and our tactical is a stim shot. So that's a great, really hyper-aggressive M13 class setup. The next one is a little bit more balanced. This one's designed to be a bit better as we do have that highly increased, will be burned anyway. Munition, and grenade for our situations. Damage range. And this is a massive increase to that 5. Doesn't quite. Don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time. To watch as well. So I'm still a little bit torn when it comes to this because I'm still dealing with Jack. Series, I will to the body, but we do get a headshot multiplier of 1.49, which means that headshots will always be helping you. If you just mix one headshot in with body shots, you can reduce the number of shots it takes to kill, which means you can get a pretty solid time to kill with headshots. As for our rate of fire, this is actually identical to the PKM at 759 rounds per minute, which means our statistical minimum time to kill is 237 milliseconds up close in the 4-shot kill range, and it will drop off to 316 milliseconds in the longer ranges, which, as you can see, our range is pretty solid. I recommend just objectively better because you can get a 3-shot kill with the PKM by just hitting shots to the upper torso, whereas with the Holger, you have to hit a headshot in order to get a 3-shot kill. As for the next gun, this is the Ram 7 assault rifle, which is unlocked at tier 31 of the free battle pass this season. And with this, we get the exact same damage profile as the M4A1 at 28, 23, 18, which means it's going to be a 4, 5, or 6-shot kill, unless you mix in headshots. Up close, we get a headshot multiplier of 1.5, which means that if you hit 2 headshots mixed in with body shots, you can reduce the number of shots it takes to kill in close range situations, just like with the M4A1. As for our rate of fire, this is actually a bit faster than the M4A1. It's the closest comparable gun. And this means our statistical minimum time to kill is actually better than the M4 at 204 milliseconds up close, and then it drops all the way off to 340 milliseconds at really long ranges. Speaking of ranges, as you can see here, our 4-shot kill range is about 28 to 29 meters, which is just barely less than the M4, and our 5-shot kill range will extend out to about 45 meters, which again is just a little bit worse than the M4. As for our aim down sight time, this is actually the best in the assault rifle category at 234 milliseconds, whereas our sprint out time is standard for assault rifles at 267 milliseconds. This just leaves us with one last important thing to look at, and this is recoil. And as you can see here, it is a little bit strange in the recoil department. It starts by kicking upwards and very slightly to the right, but then it starts going pretty hard to the left after that. This is a bit of a difficult recoil pattern to predict and get used to, but just like with the Holger, there's not that much side-to-side bounce, which is great because that's the recoil that you simply can't control and predict. Whereas this particular recoil pattern, once you master it, you do have a pretty accurate gun in your hands. So as a result, just looking at this gun statistically, keeping in mind I don't have a ton of playtime with it in public matches yet, it might actually be the best assault rifle or maybe even one of the best guns in the entire game in its current state. The only real downside I would say at this point is that recoil. It is a little bit difficult to get used to, but like I said, once you get used to that, this thing excels in pretty much every other category. I guess there is one last stat I forgot to mention. Its reload ad time is 1.62 seconds,